Hello everyone, today is Tuesday, January the 3rd around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, we're going to go with the daily technical video today. No big change to what we have covered during the day in the forums and the rooms. Everywhere we have mentioned the idea that we believe that with the break of this trend line in the US dollar, we believe that the dollar has ended a huge cycle here and that the dollar is set for a correction. Now, what do we believe is that this correction is on the earliest stage in some degree, and we see that from the top here, this is the US dollar index in 1 hour. We see that from the top here, we have a series of 1, 2, 1, 2 in the most bearish scenario. That if that being the case, we believe that the dollar just ended wave 3 here on the lows of 3. It's going to make a 4, a 5 to end 3, close this cycle. It's going to make a reverse back. It's going to trade. It's going to test the trend, the trend line from the lows, and then it's going to make another sideways down to minimum to around the 78 area before a pullback. If when we are, or what would end here is the A way that we have explained it before. Another scenario is that we have ABCWS with ended A. If that being the case, then the dollar is going to retrace a little bigger today, a little back, I'm sorry. It's going to go deeper. It's going to trade within this channel here. It's going to trade the trend, it's going to test. It's going to end. It's going to test right here the trend line and the channel, and then the dollar is going to trade lower in a type of double zigzag, ABCWS, ABCY. Now, because of the extension right here, we're favoring the idea that this being an impulse to the downside in the dollar. Now, that's in 1 hour. If we take a look to the 8 hour in the dollar, like we're saying now, I mean, we saw the dollar breaking below the trend line. So for us here, ended either the 5 ways in the daily diagonal or ended with A. The minimum target for the dollar, if it's A, is 77.82, 78 area, which is the previous S wave area before another leg coming back. Now, that's for the dollar. Let's move on pretty fast to some individual pairs here. Okay, in the individual pairs, let's start with the S&P. The S&P trickled us a little bit yesterday. We were expecting the S&P to trade in this area, and then the S&P opened higher with a huge gap today. That makes us get a stop out, and then from here, trade higher in a possible nest. Now, let me explain something to you guys about the S&P. DB today did a great job in a Forex box when he presented all the possible scenarios in the S&P, including this one, which is the one that I like. This is this scenario. If you take a look at the RSI, unless we explode higher tomorrow, the RSI in this leg is giving me divergency compared to this one. So, having said that, if doesn't explode higher tomorrow and make a big move, the S&P, what should do is, I see like a 1, 2, 3, 3 backs, 1, 2, 3. Possibly it's going to test this trend line about towards 60, about this top right here, which is towards 68, and then it's going to make another round higher. With that in mind, this can be a diagonal seaway on the S&P due to the extension here. So keep that in mind. This trend line now is very huge in the S&P right here, very huge for the trend line purpose right there. Now the alternative is that the S&P is going to trade higher and break about this trend line tomorrow. Now, with that in mind, we're going to go to the pairs. I mean, let's start with the euro dollar as always. The euro dollar, it trade today about the trend line. It trade about this trend line today. For me, the cycle that started on October the 27th ended, meaning that we should see, we should see it as recover into this area. With that in mind, also, if we take a look at the 1 hour chart on the S&P, let me explain to you guys. How we see it. We were called today on the room all morning. We called from 130.76 to top the euro. Why? Because that level right there, if you take a look, is the 1.618 of this leg. Now, one more time, let me explain to you guys. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swings, but the third one is the small one, which means that this cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an impulse. With that in mind, also we need to understand that it's either 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If that being the case, then the euro should trade tonight to around 130.13 and higher. And then that new high should come in the euro around 131.26 or in extension 132 area. Now, if you take a look to the 60-minute chart RSI, the divergence is minimum right there, which means that the divergence is within this cycle, meaning that it needs to be more outside due to the numbers of swings that we see. The alternative is very popular. People, most of our clients prefer the alternative. This alternative scenario is also temporary bullish. This alternative scenario called for A, B, C, W, 3 backs, A, B, and Z. We already sent a trade covering both the scenario when we enter at 30.15 here, and we entered at 29.76 covering both the scenarios, because Elliott Wave aging, in my humble view, is calling for another push higher minimum. Now, after these 3 waves here around this area, we should be able to sell the euro, and the euro right there should be sold for a minimum of 3 waves. There is no guarantee that this is the top, but there is nothing that say that that's not the end of the correction either. So that's what we like on the euro. Talking about the euro, we want to mention this to you guys. Divi is going to do a boss tomorrow when he's going to explain that we are moving this count to be the principal count in the euro dollar, when we are now ending wave A of the trust already, and then we are expecting 3 wave back. We know that the dollar did 3 wave back. So with that in mind, what we can say is that the next 3 backs most likely is gonna end around 135, 136 area should be sold, because that's when the S&P should trade around the 1308, 1336 area, and then should trade lower both pairs. I mean, we're explaining that on the forum today, but I want you guys to understand where we're coming from. Now, cable what we see in cable is same scenario. That cable, the low in cable was the B wave, and we're going to start trading higher in a series of 3 waves to around this area, 161, 162, before the final push and thrust from the triangle in the daily and weekly. Now, the dollar CAD, it is very interesting. I tell you why. I'm going to switch a little bit account, and I do believe then that most likely we're going to be ending, what we're going to be ending here in the dollar CAD. I'm going to switch the counts tomorrow, but if you watch the video, you're going to be able to know when we're coming tomorrow. That we're ending a 5-way move from here very soon, when these 2 legs, they're equal, targeting an area around 99.38, sometimes tomorrow or something, or, I mean, it needs to go below this level. That is going to be W. Then we're going to see a recovery in the dollar CAD like this, and then we're going to make another 3 ways back before this pair become bullish again. And then this is going to happen from here, but after a series of 3 ways. So that goes better with the scenario that we are expecting everywhere, including euro, US dollar, and pound, which is ending a cycle, 3 backs, and another 3 ways. So most likely that's how we're going to label the dollar CAD from now on. Now, this wasn't in regular flat, and that makes the whole sense in the world for this pair to be doing something like that. It's bouncing to, it got support at the 618 right there, but I think that it still got more downside, at least another leg down. If you take a look to the small time frame right there on the dollar CAD, you're going to be able to see the structure of the wave when it goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, a flat 4, and then 1, 2, and then within 3 we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 4, and another leg down very soon. Last night we got tricked around here looking for the C-way high, and I knew, and I told many people that only the flat can take us out of the trade. So with that in mind, keep that a possible bounce. We should get more downside in the dollar, but we should expect in 3 ways back minimum very soon in the dollar. Now, let's take a look at a very singular pair like this. This is the Singapore dollar. It's amazing how well this pair trade. This pair is showing also more downside. This pair is showing more downside in the dollar when you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it need another 4 and another 5 like the euro. If you take a look at the Fibos, look, this pair finds support at the 2618 today, should trade around 129, 128, and from there should go lower again to another low. So this pair is showing, if you compare with the euro, this pair, this is like the top or the bottom of the euro on the 29th of December, and look how it is the same structure to the downside when it comes to weight structure. In other words, the same amount of swings. In the 4-hour, the Singapore dollar, I recommend everyone to follow this pair together with the Norwegian krone. everyone know what our view is, that we believe that this pair is in the wave 1, got an A here, a B, and then this pair is on the C wave that needs to trade below this one, ideally to 123 to complete a zigzag from here and consequently become bullish to a very, very huge move to the outside due to this pair did 5 wave from there. So now this pair should find support. It did it here around the 618. Don't discount the idea that 122.65 is going to be the support in this pair, even though it's trading at 128 now. But this pair move very fast. So like I say, this pair need more downside. If this is A and this is B, and then this pair is going to find around 126 is going to end it. Wave 3 is going to make a 4, and then it looks like 122, 123 should find enough support to turn this pair bullish. I mean, this recovery right here is in 3-way. If you take a look at the RSI, making the case that it needs downside, and consequently, US dollar win next. So keep that in mind. And then, I mean, what else? Gold, we covered gold today. I mean, Aussie yen, it looks like should start trading higher. We got the top of A, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and it looks like it should start trading higher very soon right there. Also like the S&P, but it can turn lower at any moment. Finally, I want to explain the Aussie. When we've been right or over, when we say that the area around 105.84, 106 is going to be traded sooner or later. Aussie recovered from here in 3-way. It did a flat in the middle, so I'm expecting a corrective move to get to around this area. Look how Aussie should become a sell around 105.84, and I start to like the idea in the daily and weekly Aussie. Let me show you. When I believe that even though it looks like a triangle, maybe there is no triangle. Maybe what we are is what we're showing all over. And this is the move that we were trying to catch right here. Remember that we didn't get filled for about 30, 40 picks in the long Aussie. That was the move that we were trying to catch. I believe that we are in the B wave here, and then Aussie is going to trade lower from around 106, in the equal legs here, most likely 106. Aussie is going to trade lower for 106 to 91. Then we should know what, I don't know. And the weekly, I still believe that we are in the correction here. That needs to be seen. But I like it short for 106, even though we call him bullish. But the price structure from here is everything but bad. It's no impulse, in my opinion, right there. So keep that in mind. Now, what else? I think that that's everything for tonight. And when you look, the pound yen, like we say the other day on the I don't know where it's a forum seminar, that was ending a move. That's exactly what it did. I believe that 3 ways back here should be bought, looking for 120 in this pair. And this pair also is showing the path for the pound dollar, right? So see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys understand what we're expecting. We're expecting a pullback today in the dollar to be soar again tomorrow. Thank you, guys.